Simon, it's fair to say, if you were to sum up a word about England at this moment, you would say pragmatic. Would you expand on that briefly for me?
Because the job has been done, right? With the job, whatever way we look at it, and we all want to see rip-roaring rock and roll football. We want to see something that gets you off your seats. We haven't seen that, but what we've seen is our team come out of a group and do the job. They've not done it in a way that inspires and lifts people out of their seats and gets you really excited, but they've done the job. So I'm pragmatic about that. What I'm hoping to see is that they set the place alight. I don't think I'm going to see it, and I think that England aren't going to deliver the outcome that a lot of people anticipate that they may. But I'm pragmatic in my thinking. I'm trying to be balanced because I want us to be successful. I want us to get rid of this ridiculous hoodoo of not winning anything, having the best domestic league, the biggest financial powerhouse, and a national side that doesn't, sit alongside that. So my mindset, Jim, is a pragmatic balance between a little bit of disappointment because I'm not being enthused by what I'm seeing against the realistic of achievement. They're in a business of professional sports. Their job was to get out of the group, and that's been done.
Okay, I mean, pragmatic, I would think in football, playing within themselves. No more than that, I would think. 08717 223344. England fans, where are you this morning? Let us know what you think. Here's Dave, who's a big Tottenham fan. Dave, good morning. Where are you at right now in your mindset with England?
I'm not as happy as I should be. Exactly what Simon's saying. We've done enough, and I don't think that we probably will ever do any greater than that. Yesterday we played how we'd all wanted to play in the first half, and then we became England again. Now, as you say, I'm a Spurs supporter, and I'm sorry, England's second half went very Spursy. Very Spursy.
Okay. Listen, Dave, who are you going to get as your manager? Anyone's guess, right?
Certainly not Gareth Southgate. That's my top hope.
All right. Let's hear from Keith, who's a big Manchester United fan. Keith, good morning. England, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, a little bit like we just heard, but Simon started me off, really. I completely agree with Simon, Jordan. The problem I have is watching the first half yesterday, you become enthused because you saw players that were going to go and attack and give the defence a problem. And they're good defenders, these fellas. They know how to play against players like that. But we, in the first half, gave them a lot to think about. And then it seemed, when we got the goal, it just seemed like, come out in the second half, this is a different entity now. We can win 1-0. That's good enough. It's not good enough. I won't be happy if we win this tournament playing like that. That's it.
Do we expect too much? Because I'd like to get Trevor's view on this in particular. How many world-class players do England actually have? Because we don't have a world-class manager. We saw a world-class player at Hampden last night in Luka Modric, who's been there, got the T-shirt and almost carried through Croatia on his own. How many players do England have that can do that?
Well, on the
because
day,
I agree with Simon. I don't think Raheem Sterling is world class.
Yeah, on the day, I think we've got a few world class players. Don't play brilliantly every game. Even Lionel Messi, Ronaldo. He scored a fantastic goal the other day against Germany, and then he was a little bit of showboat, and I liked it because the pass actually got there where he wanted it to get, a no look pass. But actually, his performance was pretty average. He didn't play well, but he still got the goal. He still produced a decent impact on the game. But for me, we've got players in our squad that can be regarded as world-class on their day. Grealish on his day can be world-class. Kane on his day can be world-class.
Isn't world-class somebody that performs at a consistent level repeatedly, not just turns up on games and plays at a high level? But look at Harry Kane's
stats. Surely he's world-class.
Well, Harry Kane, but we're not talking Harry Kane.
Look at Sterling's stats.
I think that's one. That's the one for me that can be classed in that bracket.
But I honestly think we've got a few world-class players on their day.
If you look at the opposition we played against, right, we don't have to have world-class players to play in a compelling way against the opposition we've been playing against in the last 3 games. We have to have ambition. We have to have players. These players are.
What do you think? Teams just come to Wembley and roll over like a puppy.
I'm not suggesting that.
It's competitive. This is football now.
That's fine. But we're talking about innate ability in players, and we can go from one extreme. We can say good players are world-class players. Right? I don't travel the route you go by talking about players in world-class levels, because I look at a few players and say, yeah, they're world-class. The rest of them are very good players. But let's just say, as an average, we've got very good players in every position.
Is Walker one of the best right-backs in the world?
Yeah.
So is he world class?
Well, depends what you consider to be world class.
Come on, Simon.
Depends what you define world class is. If we're suggesting,
finish your point, Simon. Finish your point.
Thank you. Right. So what I'm saying is that when we're playing against the opposition that we played against, we have good enough players to put on performances that are front foot performances with the ability of players to get on the ball and have bravery and have technical ability and to be able to drive games and take... There's nothing to do with ability against Scotland when we play with a lack of intensity. It's a mindset. It's an outlook from players. And if we've dictated certain aspects of the game in the first half against the Czech Republic, why aren't we taking it to the next level in the second half? And I would suggest, in part, that's to do with the manager and the message that he's imparting, because there has to be a reason why we come off the gas. Because that Czech Republic team, were there to be beaten 4-5-0. They were there to be beaten 4-5-0.
Simon, we're heading to the 11:30 bulletin. In a sentence, how far will England go in your view?
I think it's very difficult to say, Jim. If they come up against the Germans and we can overcome the psychological disadvantage that we have in the back of our minds about the Germans and beat them, it becomes about who we draw next. If we're fortunate in the draws, then I think we can get to the semi-final. But if we're not fortunate in the draws and we start to play a team that's really in good nick, because the Germans aren't in good nick, then I think we'll go out against the first team that's capable of playing on the front foot.
I disagree.
Okay. All right. Back with you in a second, Trevor. Coming up to 11:30.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Thursday morning, 10 till 1. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.